All right, welcome back, everybody. It's season 10, episode 10 of Ghost Leprechauns. We're here on game day, and we're joined by two pretty special guests. You can see them in our feed right over here. Michael Stonebraker and Frank Stams. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Hey, game time, game baby.
That's
Frank
right.
Stams here, checking in from South Bend.
So Frank, as you guys can see, is in South Bend, tailgating like a champion. And we got Stoney, Michael Stonebraker on. We're going to talk about some new and exciting merchandise they have that they're getting ready to drop. But first, wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about your time at Notre Dame. I mean, everybody knows the story. The Three Amigos. We got two of the Three Amigos here. Who came up with the name the Three Amigos?
We had an article. We had Sports Illustrated was in town doing an article, and the late great Roger Baldessari, he came up with the Three Amigos, and we put a spin on it, and got that story out in the Sports Illustrated article, and it grew from there.
Love it. Let's talk a little about Coach Holtz. So what was it, do you think, that made everything just come together so perfectly in that 88 season?
Well, my freshman year was Coach Holtz's first year. And so, we had all these, the guys that played before that were all great athletes, and they were all hungry, and maybe they didn't know how to win properly or how to play properly, or tried their hardest.
Easy.
And so we had that class, Holtz's first class that came in, and I think Coach Holtz, we went to all the stories that they tell us. He went to the guys that were there, and he kind of took everybody up a little bit, and he made them all sit at attention and demand respect from the guys, and whatever they were doing before wasn't working. So he kind of put the guidelines down is we're all going to sacrifice for a common goal, and we're a team, and we're going to put team first. We're going to commit to one another, and that's pretty much how he laid it out.
Love it.
Nathan, that is the most word I think Michael spoke his entire time at the University of Notre Dame, and that is a huge compliment to this show. And I, as a fifth year, a couple years older than Michael, have a hard time swallowing it. But he's right. He's swallowing the fact that we did not know how to win. We did not, and he's right. And to answer your question, mine, the way is leadership. Holtz brought leadership. I mean, everybody, a lot of these coaches, they all know X's and O's. But how do they lead a team to a national championship in 3 short years? And Lou Holtz certainly had that formula.
So, Frank, you talked a little bit about there was obviously some tough times before the 88 season. 86 and 87, weren't the greatest for Coach Holtz. Do you see any similarities in kind of some of how those first seasons went with Coach Holtz and what's going on with Coach Freeman right now?
So Coach Freeman is learning what the difference between what it's like wanting to be the Notre Dame coach versus being the Notre Dame coach. And I think he made a huge leap last week of having an identity for this team. And I expect the same thing today with Miami. You've got to define who your team is. And you talk about Lou Holtz. He defined who we were early on, and this is what we're going to be. And it was a winning formula. And I think Marcus is still discovering that. Now, granted, it's his first head coaching job. But he's got to him where he's not so much and I mean the reality of it is what.
Did we lose Frank there?
Run the ball down the road. Certainly, you're going to ask him running first.
We're losing you a little bit, Frank. That sounded like you were saying that Coach.
I can tell you what Frank said. What Frank said was every game is the opponent's big game. You know, at Notre Dame, you have to be ready every weekend, 100%. They're going to come out firing. There's no letdown. You can't take it easy. You can't look ahead. You have to take it day by day, play by play, and play your hardest on every play and get those wins.
Looks like Frank dropped off. He might be going on a new phone or something. But we did have a question, Stoney, so we'll ask you. This is from our audience, Justin Knox. He said, with two rivals, some say the greatest two rivals in our history playing each other today, is there any question that USC is our greatest rival?
No, I don't think. I think the Notre Dame USC, you know, when we played them in '88, that was number one. They were number one, I believe. We were number two. You know, that was the biggest game, the biggest stage, Notre Dame versus USC. You know, the winner of that game was going on for the national championship. And so, you know, throughout the history of Notre Dame and USC back in the Rockney days of those guys, you know, taking the trains across country to make those games, you know, those are the two premier college football teams, Notre Dame and USC, that everybody knows.
Couldn't agree more. And I really hope they don't let it go away with the new conference alignment and all that stuff. I hope that game stays on the Irish schedule forever. It's too important.
Yeah, well, they said Notre Dame's not locked into anything. They can play whoever they want, whenever they want. So, you know, I don't think they need to get the Michigan back, and they need to get all the big games back in there.
Let's see. Frank looks like Frank's jumping back on. Let's add him to the stage. He probably went to a new phone. I know reception is not exactly fantastic in at the Notre Dame parking lot. So there he is. All right. Looks like we got you back, Frank. Can you hear us okay?
I'm on. I can hear you now.
Okay,
Sorry
great.
about that.
No, you're good. Stoney was kind of filling in, just talking about how when people come to Notre Dame and play Notre Dame, they're bringing their best shot at all times. It's their Super Bowl, and I think that's what we saw against the Northern Illinois, and that's what we're going to see against Miami of Ohio today. So it's going to be competitive. Wanted to ask you guys also just about your careers after Notre Dame. So went on to play in the pros a little bit. Can you guys talk about that at all? Your what you're doing now and what you did right after you graduated?
Go ahead, Mike.
After playing, I went from Notre Dame, played for the Bears for a season, bounced around, got into a couple entrepreneurial things, and now you turn around and we're 57 years old now, right? And so done a lot of things, and what we wanted to put together with all this NIL things that are out there. We wanted to try to raise some money and sell some things to help contribute to the NIL fund and also to the Lose Legends Foundation. And so we put a shirt together, the Irish 88 N88D.com website. And so we're selling these shirts, and portions of those proceeds are going to go toward those two charities. So, we think that we can't believe that it's been 30-something years since Notre Dame's won a national championship, and so we can't really talk smack with your friends because you have nothing to say. So, we're going back on that championship from '88 and hoping to sell some shirts.
So
myself.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead, Frank.
So myself, like Mike, we want to give back. Whether it's giving back to the university with this effort, with this championship apparel we have, play like national champions. That's important to us. Notre Dame is in an arena that is brand new to them, the NIL, and every little bit counts. And, also, Holtz's heroes, giving back to guys that we played with that are in need. Myself, that's what I do. I'm a public servant. I'm a councilman in my hometown. I like politics, but I want to get away from the politics, the business of politics, and getting back to what what's important and giving people a voice, giving, and standing up for people. Because I think government sometimes can act like a bully, and we all rail against bullies. So that's where I am in my life now at 59, and so it's all about giving back.
So right now, guys, we have the a photo of the shirts. Michael Stonebraker and Frank Stams both have them on right now. I know Stoney's wearing the OG shirt on him, and Frank has his. I think it's a blue or a ash colored on. But on your screen, you'll see what the shirt looks like. It's really, really cool looking. It's got an Irish, but instead of the IS in the middle, it's 88, signifying the 88 championship team. On the back, it says "Play like national champions." And then on the side, it has the 12-0 record. So we're gonna.
How about that? That's a good-looking shirt, isn't it?
That's a great-looking shirt. I'm gonna be buying one for sure. We got the link in 88d.com. We'll put that in the show notes as well. So you can grab one as soon as the show's over. Guys, are those in stock? Are they ready to send out? How long's production?
They're in stock. They're shipping out this week.
Beautiful. Let's see. Somebody has to make the picture larger. No problem. So here's a little bit blown up size of the shirt. Like I said, Irish on the front with the 88 in the middle. Played like national champions on the back. It's a really good looking shirt. What kind of, just because I know people are going to ask, what kind of material is it? Is it like a soft cotton kind of thing?
Let me tell you something. I'm wearing one right now. I hope you can see me. It is. I don't know what kind of material it is, but I love it, and I ain't lying. It's a nice material. My wife tells me it's double stitched, so it's quality. I think it's a blend. In this heat, I'm still comfortable in it. It's not 100% cotton, I know that, and it's got this great old school look to it that I love. Getting a lot of positive feedback on it. So, if your listeners are interested, like you mentioned, n88d.com is the website, and it goes to a great effort, and it's one of a kind.
I know people are going to ask this as well because I'm one of them, but do you have sizes for big linemen?
You got what sizes for big linemen?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great question. We got 2X. We got 2X right now.
Okay.
So I mean, and I'm wearing an XL, and it fits me snug. So 2X. I mean, we don't have the 3X, we don't have the 4X, but we do have the 2X.
Love it. Yeah, can't wait to get one. We got some comments on the shirts. I love the shirt. Count me in. 2 great causes. Thank you, gentlemen, for all you've done for Notre Dame. That's from Patrick McCormick. Fighting Irish Faithful said he's already added it to the cart. Anthony Dorico, just a few of Notre Dame's 88 teams have those old school tough names. Zorich, Stonebraker, Stams, Bulker, just to name a few. Steven Nickerman said, I love it also, and I don't own one yet. So it looks like you guys are going to get some sales right off the bat, which is great. So, Frank, what's the atmosphere like on campus right now?
Oh, bro, it's electric here, man. It's a great day. Like we talked about, a little sweaty, but you know what? I love it. I love working in the heat. I'm working up a lather right now as we talk, as you can see. But yeah, a lot.
I think Brian is signal.
And hope they go disappointed, crying in their beers.
Looks like we are losing him again. Another question that just came in, if you guys can hear or if you want to answer, from Justin. I'll say. It's from Justin Knox. In your opinion, is Marcus Freeman the answer to reach the promised land?
Sure, he's the answer to reach the promised land. Everybody loves Marcus Freeman, and they love playing for him, and that's all great. You have to. He's got to learn also, how to coach, how to win games, how to eliminate mistakes. So it's when we won the championship in '88. The first game of the year, we played Michigan, and I think they missed a field goal with I don't know how much time on the clock for us to win the game. So that 1 point that they would have maybe beaten us by, could have cost us the chance to play for a championship. So, you just have to be vigilant about everything you want to do, and keep after guys and keep everybody focused, at all points. The people want to point at the 10 men on the field, all the little things. You want to try to eliminate as many mistakes as you can. And we would love Marcus Freeman to win the national championship, and as quickly as possible.
Yes, please. Mike, so is there going to be other merchandise for the N88? I got a couple texts about that just now.
Yeah, we have about 6 things. We have about 10 things down the pipe.
Okay.
And we have some things for other championship seasons. And so we just wanted to get this shirt out there as quickly as we could, get it online, sell some units, and then start developing, bringing the rest of the line on. But we have some pretty cool ideas that are out there.
Okay, very cool. Well, so I got to ask one thing, and that's, do you have any? I know there's been multiple books, multiple shows, interviews about the '88 season. What can you tell us about what happened in that '88 game against Miami? Who started the fight in the
Yeah.
Bring your volume down a little bit.
All right.
All right. So, what was your question? Who started the fight in the Miami game?
Yep.
Stams started the fight in the.
Oh yeah.
The Miami guys, they came over. They kind of interrupted our warm-up line, and we had some strong-minded folks on our side. They had some strong-minded folks on their side, and so we just had a little back and forth with one another, and just kind of setting the tone that this is our house, and we don't back down from anybody, anywhere, and especially at Notre Dame field. And so I think maybe that team in the '80s kind of got away with trying to intimidate folks, but we weren't bred that way. The folks on that '88 team were a little bit different.
So, Frank, Mike's saying that you started the fight. Do you have anything to say, or are you gonna no comment on that as a council member?
Mike said I started the fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, put it this way. I've never been one to back down from a fight.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm blaming on all those younger guys that Holtz brought in, like Stonebraker, Todd Light. Those guys were all full of piss and vinegar. And, I was just too worried about Miami because they'd been kicking our ass for, 3 or 4 years. But those guys, they hadn't experienced that. And, it was a great mesh between the younger guys that wanted to take it to them and the older guys that, had a chip on their shoulder and wanted to prove something that, that wasn't Notre Dame football, what they've been seeing the last 4 years.
Love it. Did Coach Holtz actually save Jimmy Johnson's ass for me, or is that a myth?
Oh, no, he said that. Everybody was pretty fired up.
He did.
He said that. Everybody, and to say who started it, honestly, there was a group on this side, there was a group over here, and a group over here of Notre Dame guys who all were standing up for our team, so it was more of an instantaneous team reaction. And so, yeah, Holtz said that. He said some other things. And so, you don't like to get fired up and burn too much energy before a game, but, everybody was pretty excited to get that game underway.
So last question, then I'm going to let you guys go because I know you got a busy morning. Was there other schools that were kind of on your radar in terms of the recruitment process? And if so, what was it about Notre Dame that you said, that's where I got to go, that's where I'm going to make my name?
I had official visits. I went to UCLA, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, LSU, and they were all good schools. And some of them, after visiting the campuses, you kind of get a feel for it. But Wes Pritchett and Frank were my hosts, or Wes was my host, but we hung out with Frank, during my time there. It was middle of what month? February, middle of December. What's the coldest month in South Bend?
Probably.
Whatever month that is, that's when I was there. It was dumping rain. It was, and so after spending a weekend with those guys in that environment, I realized that there wasn't another place I'd rather be than in South Bend.
I love it. Okay, sorry. One more question that just came in from the audience from Music Fan on YouTube. Stoney, what current and recent players remind you of the 88ers? Any guys on the 88 team? Also, what's a screaming otter?
Screaming Otters, Soaring Hall, baby. Soaring Hall, Screaming Otters. Everybody knows that. I'm a linebacker. I like the linebacker, Uncle Joe, the fifth-year guy. He's been playing about 6 years, I think. Linebacker, Uncle Jack, yeah. He's solid. He makes a lot of tackles. He's around the ball all the time. So that's what I appreciate.
Okay. So before we go, I just wanted to tell you, I got to send you some Cuban coffee. I know we were talking about that the other day, but I got some you got to try that is different than Cafe Bustelo. So
all right,
I'm
looking forward to it.
I got to try to get that out to you. So, hey, Stoney, thank you so much for being on. It was an honor. You're one of my heroes, man. So thank you very much. And Frank, I know you can't hear us right now, but I'll text you and say thanks. Good luck on the shirts, n88d.com. Grab yours. They're sweet looking. I'm going to be grabbing mine as soon as we're done with the show today. And we'll catch up with you soon, Mike. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I know Frank appreciates it also.
Absolutely.
And I like what you did down there behind you on the walls. I think you have good taste. Both of you guys have good taste in what you put up there.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And you have a great day.
All right, guys.
All right. So that was two of the most legendary players in the history of Notre Dame football, if we're being honest. Frank Stams, Michael Stonebraker. I didn't just put that up. I've had that Three Amigos jersey for 10, 15, probably not 15 years. Probably about 10 years. Finally got it framed a couple years ago, and it's up here in the Dos Leprechauns cave. So Anthony Dorico chimed in. Love you, Mike Stonebraker. You were one of my favorite players, without a doubt. The way you played was relentless, and you can hit hard. Yeah. Has there ever been another better name for a linebacker than freaking Stonebraker? I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than that. So we're going to do a real quick recap. You know us, we're not really the X's and O's, scotch and spreadsheets like our guy Fighting Irish Faithful Joe and his crew, who are also under the Dos Leprechauns umbrella. But we did want to talk last week. I mean, absolute, total, and complete domination. Pretty friggin' awesome game. Great bounce back win from the other game that occurred. Miami of Ohio, second chance to protect our house, defend South Bend this weekend against a team that should not be able to come in and give us too much trouble. I mean, the athlete to athlete, we absolutely are way more talented than really probably anybody other than maybe SC on our schedule. But Nate, what do you got on Miami of Ohio? Where are they going to have some success, and where are we going to have some success against them?
I mean, if they really want to do it, and they have in the past against the two opponents that they've played this year, and that's Cincinnati and Northwestern in their first two matchups of the season, they've been testing the secondary of each team, which I would say if I'm a defensive coordinator, bring it. I mean, you have Ben Morrison, Xavier Watts. You don't want to pick on either of those guys.
Christian Gray, Leonard Moore.
Exactly. Their quarterback throws a lot, makes a lot of mistakes, though. 3 interceptions on the season, 2 in his last game against Northwestern. They have a really good receiver that's getting looked at NFL-wise, actually, Cade McDonald. He'll be getting the ball a lot. I'm assuming Benmo will be on him most of the game, so don't expect many catches from him. And honestly, I kind of relate this game a little bit to last year's Central Michigan game, the game before the Ohio State game. It's a really good chance for Notre Dame to continue on with winning ways before you get into an opponent like Louisville, who is a ranked opponent, possibly could be in the top 10 if they win today and some other things shake out. But I think it's a really good opportunity for Notre Dame to, get their first win at Notre Dame Stadium this year, and just keep going straight forward and continue on the season and run the table. Basically, I mean, we have the talent. That's the thing. we have the talent in these games, and I think the coaches are going to make the right decisions, and we're going to have a good game today.
So there's been so much talk, so much ballyhoo, if you will, so much back and forth on Riley Leonard and the quarterback situation at Notre Dame. Last week, he had 3 rushing touchdowns. Angeli, of course, came in and had a couple passing touchdowns. So it's really, to me, interesting to see the dichotomy between the two players. But I think that I still believe Riley Leonard gives us our best chance to win. We'll see what happens. I think the measuring stick for the rest of the season is going to be next week against Louisville.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you can't overlook Miami of Ohio. We see what happens when you overlook teams. But Louisville has a good defense and a very good quarterback. So we're not going to have the opportunity, in my opinion, to run the ball at will against Louisville. Excuse me. So I think that game's going to kind of determine how we do against the SCs of the world, the FSUs, the Georgia Tech, some of those teams that are tougher than a Miami of Ohio in terms of talent. So it's going to be important that Riley can show he can throw it. I don't think we need 50, 60-yard bombs. I mean, obviously, everybody would love that. We'd love to take the top off. But if he can just complete passes to Mitch Evans and Bo Collins to make plays, Chris Mitchell, Faison, I mean, you name it. We have the playmakers throw the ball out to Jordan Love and get some yards. I don't care how we get yards and touchdowns. I just want yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think you really don't have to show your hand in some of these games. I think they kind of rushed it in the Northern Illinois game by having Riley push it down the field. And I think it was the second to last drive they had the ball where Riley threw the pick and couldn't get the ball over the top of the defense. But you really don't have to show your hand too much or, throw out plays that you wouldn't against the Miami of Ohio like you would against a Louisville or USC, Georgia Tech, or FSU. It doesn't really matter. It's you can – Riley Leonard can take this team very far. And I know people say he can't and all this stuff. But if you control the line of scrimmage and you control the clock and you win time of possession, you're going to win the game. You are going to win the game. I don't care who you're playing. You are going to win the game.
And I feel like we got away from that against Northern Illinois when it almost felt like they were trying to force the ball at certain times. The first drive when we ran down and scored Riley ran the ball, 5-6 times on that drive and J-Love. So that's your recipe right there. Exactly. Run the ball, pound the ball. We're a power team. We've almost always been a power team at Notre Dame. Don't get away from the formula that works. Denbrock is an incredibly intelligent coach, a great coach, great offensive coordinator. He's going to figure it out. Trust me, guys. For those out there saying that, Denbrock, Freeman don't care, don't want to win, that is the most ridiculous stuff to say. The reason Denbrock came back is because he wants to bring a national championship back to Notre Dame. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, Freeman wants to win, wants to be the guy that brings us back to the glory land. I
think one of the most underrated plays of last game, against Purdue was probably the first offensive play of the game. I think it was like 11-yard out route to Bo Collins. That helped get Riley Leonard's feet up from under him, and it gave him so much confidence the rest of the half. Not game. He only played one half and had 3 rushing touchdowns.
So Stephen is a little bit more confident than me. Stephen McKiernan says 57-0 Irish is my pick. I'm not going that hard, but I appreciate the confidence, Stephen. I don't do predictions. I personally think we're going to either not cover or be very close to covering, but I don't think it'll be much more than a 26, 27-point win. I could see a 21-point win, 24-point win, something like that, based on what I've seen us versus them and some of their skill players and things of that nature. I mean, it's going to be a battle, as it always is, but I think we'll pull away toward the end big time, maybe even after the half. I would love to see Angeli get some more reps. I'd really love to see Minchie get some more reps. To me, if, God forbid, knock on wood, Riley Leonard does get injured or it's like, man, he can't throw it, it's hurt, whatever. I think you go with Minchie personally because I feel like he gives you the arm and the legs. We just haven't had an opportunity to see him other than at practice, and everything we've heard from practices and scouting and everything like that, Minchie's the real deal. He's a true dual threat kind of guy. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, same as Purdue score. Let's see what else we got here. Before we go off, we wanted to kind of do a quick show today because I know everybody's getting ready for game day. We wanted to talk about, we've been talking about this for a little bit. We have a really special, event? Special opportunity we're going to be doing with a young person that has never been to a Notre Dame game and is as diehard as any of us. We're going to show you a picture here of our buddy, if I can find it. So this young man's name is Greg. And we saw a post a while back about a young individual that has some special needs. He has Down syndrome. but he's as diehard as they come of a Notre Dame fan. His name's Greg. And from all accounts, he seems like an absolute awesome dude and knows his stuff. I was talking to his sister, Jennifer, who we've been working with on this. And he knows his stuff. And I'm excited to learn more about him. But anyway, getting back to the opportunity. So Greg has never been to a Notre Dame game. And obviously, it's not always easy to get to a game if you don't live in the Indiana area, the Mishawaka area, that kind of somewhat close to Notre Dame, even Chicago, that kind of thing. So they came together and said, hey, I think we can get out there, got the room handled, all that kind of stuff. Can somebody help with tickets? And so just like always, and you guys never let us down, fans of Notre Dame, the Notre Dame family never let us down. We put out a little post on Dose Leprechauns, and within, 2 minutes, we had a couple people hit us up and say, hey, we want to help out. And so now the tickets are secured. And now we're working on getting some gear for Greg to wear when he comes out. So long story short, Greg and his brothers and his sister Jennifer are coming out for the game. It's going to be the Virginia game. So senior day, last home game of the season. So it's going to be a special opportunity for Greg in general, but especially the fact that it's senior day should be awesome. So Greg's going to be out there. I would love if people would really make him feel welcome. Everybody always does, even if you're a fan of the opposing team. Notre Dame makes everybody feel welcome. So I don't doubt that, but let's really make this dude remember this trip for the rest of his life and want to come back to Notre Dame, right? So if you're interested in helping out in any way, we're still looking for some help on a couple things. Message below and we will get in touch with you, or you can inbox us and we'll get in touch with you. But we really want to make this an opportunity for his entire family to know what the Notre Dame community, what the Notre Dame family's heart is all about. So if you're interested, drop a comment below, message us, get a hold of us in some capacity, and we will give you the details on how you can help out. So we're also going to see Fighting Irish Faithful. Joe, our partner colleague podcast, said, send me the details. I'll promote on my show too. We're definitely going to do that, Joe. And in fact, we're going to be talking about this quite a bit here in the next few weeks as we get closer to the game. Because again, we want this to be a really cool opportunity. A lot of us are blessed to go to games pretty regularly. So let's pay it forward and make this dude dreams come true by attending a game at Notre Dame. So Greg, if you're listening, we got you. We're going to have a great time. We're going to see the campus, high five the players on the player walk, and then watch Notre Dame beat Virginia on senior day. So we will got some comments already coming in. Stephen McKiernan says he wants to donate $10. That's awesome. We will get in touch with you, Stephen, on how to do that. So again, more details to follow on this. We're super excited. And to everyone who said they don't want to be mentioned in helping with this, know that we love you and we thank you very much. You know who you are. In fact, you're probably listening right now. So thank you. And we're going to make this awesome. We're going to document it. It's going to be fantastic. We're actually also going to try to get a hold of some of the local Notre Dame media to potentially do a story on this, because again, it is a very touching and cool thing that Jennifer wants to do for her brother. So again, that's going to be Greg. He's going to come out, hang out for a while with Notre Dame faithful, and we'll have a great time and make him feel welcome. So we're going to stop sharing and get ready to sign off here. So before we head off, we just wanted to remind everybody in 88d.com. I'll put it in the show notes one more time, and hope that you guys will help the NIL fund for Notre Dame. This is a great way to do it. You know that Stoney and Stams and everybody involved in this is the real deal and doing it for the right reasons. So your funds will go to good use. So please make sure you grab your shirt. As Stoney mentioned, there's going to be some other items up there too. Not sure what those are yet, but they did say that there's some things that are coming soon that I think will be awesome. So with that, we're just about an hour and a half away from game time. Miami of Ohio, Louisville up next. We'll be live again next Saturday for episode 11 of season 10. Thank you guys for your support. Please share this podcast. We really want to get the YouTube growing a little bit so we can do some more things. We got some cool stuff coming up. Going to be some original features that we're going to do just on YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe if you're not already. So anything else, Nate, on your end?
Nope.
All right. Everybody have a great day. Stay blessed. God bless everybody. Go Irish. Beat Miami. Oh, Brian, miss you guys fighting. Oh, shout out to Brian Ginzer. He's one of our good buddies in South Bend, having a rough time right now. He's in the hospital. Brian, we're praying for you. And if somebody could light a candle to grotto for Brian, I'm sure he would be greatly appreciative of that. So everybody have a great day. Take care. Go Irish.